All right, our speaker today is somebody who we know and love and always has wonderful tales for us, tales from the outback. And so we appreciate that. And it's Reverend Joyce Zorger. Reverend Joyce, come on up.
Wow. I love the song. Wow. I have to go back to Christmas 2022 when the choir came out and sang for my husband, John, when he was in his last stages of Alzheimer's. But he remembered all those Christmas songs. He sang along. Christine and I were talking last night at the wonderful event that we had over at Sunrise Terrace. It was just so beautiful. And they were singing Christmas carols, and we just got it's in the mood. I think these songs bring us into the mood. I think music is what connects us, heart and soul. I truly believe that. And I'm just grateful to be here. I've had a real hectic last Thanksgiving with my family. We had, and I had this garage sale, which I planned the Saturday after Thanksgiving, which I called Black Saturday because. And I thought that was a fun name. And I had, it was really wonderful. Joe came out and he helped me price a lot of tools, and the tools pretty much went first. And we did very well on the garage sale. It was just fun to see people from church that came out. Thank you for joining me out there. And it was, I think I might do this again in the spring when I recover. It was just like, I'm still recovering. My family came out on Thanksgiving Day, and they haven't been out for quite a while because usually my neighbor next door invites me over, and she has a couple of other people from the neighborhood for Thanksgiving. And but this Thanksgiving, my family came out, and I was hoping they would stay for the garage sale and help me, but they left Saturday. They left Saturday morning. The last one did, but I wanted to make this a simple Thanksgiving. And sort of what my youngest daughter, she said, well, Mom, why don't we just order things and have it come in so we don't have to be so busy in the kitchen, and maybe we can play some games and stuff like that. Well, we presented that to the middle daughter, and she said, she talked to her husband, and he said, oh no, I want to do the cooking. And I thought, oh no. Oh my goodness, when he cooks, and I hope he doesn't see this online, I had the kitchen looking all really nice. I know where all my tools are. And when Bob comes in and tackles the kitchen, it's like total chaos. And he had so many different dishes that he was working on. He was determined that he wanted to cook the turkey, not the turkey. He bought two chickens, two big chickens that were not cooked, and he had to cook those. He decided he wanted to brine them. You know, that took time. And he decided he wanted to make what is he? Oh, he wanted to barbecue them. And I said, I have a barbecue, but he had to have a Weber barbecue so he could charcoal them. He stopped at Costco and picked up a barbecue. We were supposed to eat at 2:30. We didn't eat till 6:30 because he had to put this barbecue together, and he had to cook the turkey. And it was just like, talk about Thanksgiving to remember. I was just so glad that my husband wasn't there to experience it. But he was there in some respect because we sat down to eat and the lights went off in the area of the kitchen and the area of the garage and certain areas where John habitated before. You know, the garage was his area, and of course everything was removed and taken out and looking over in his garage. But I really believe that he made his presence known by turning off those lights. He turned them off for about 4 or 5 hours, and then they came back on again, and they stayed on for another few hours, and then they went off pretty permanently. And then my son-in-law, bless his heart, he had an idea of a wonderful electrician that I called, and the electrician came out yesterday morning. He said he could be there at 7 a.m. So I had to make sure that I was fully awake to present myself and tell him what was going on with the power. So he came and he did a marvelous job. And I don't know if any of you have ever hired an electrician, but they are not cheap. But this guy, he was there almost 3.5 hours, and he had some things that he I don't think he had any parts that he had to fix, but he fixed the power. $200. I thought, this is a real gift. I can give you his name if you need an electrician. He's in Santa Maria and the nicest guy. And he said he was a Christian. And I think my son-in-law probably talked to him before and said, this woman needs help. I really do believe Bob was doing a favor for me, probably to make up for the Thanksgiving. I'm still looking for my utensils in the kitchen because if you've had your family there and they take care of stuff in the kitchen. And I was outside managing, getting things set up for the garage sale. But so I didn't want to go in the kitchen. It frightened me when I went in there. There was so much stuff everywhere. But we did have a really nice time. And so my talk was today, that vision. I just love that. The topic of vision. And one of the most powerful things that I say to myself is God is my strength and vision is his gift. And when people, oftentimes when I call someone or text someone in the morning, I say, God morning. And I like that because I'm prayed up, because I do my Science of Mind. I read that in the morning. Every morning I have a spiritual practice. As you know, I've shared that with you. And I do my Science of Mind magazine, my daily word. I do my Mark Nepo's book of Awakening. I love that too. And there's a book called Seasons of the Spirit that is just such a sweet book that I have often. If any of you have seen any of my books, they have tags all right, and I read it again and again. And I know you must do the same. If you want to be prayed up, and I think that each morning, if I take the time, and if I can do it, you can do it too, to take the time to get prayed up before you begin your day, and whatever that looks like to you, whether it looks like I have a friend that she's a wonderful help to me, and was at the garage sale too. And she texts me, and we text each other back and forth. And she's such a spiritual person, and we share our thoughts. And it's really nice to have close friends that you can share your thoughts about your belief and what you believe and what helps you go through each day. And it's just, I truly feel blessed. And with this community, and last night being at the wonderful event, and I know how busy Tank, she is an amazing woman, and she had an art show of her brother Bob, his artwork and some of her artwork, and it was wonderful to see. And as busy as she was, she called me last night to make sure I got home okay, because I had to leave. It was, getting kind of dark, late in the afternoon. But I managed to, it was, in a way, it was a wonderful experience because I was able to drive through the village and see the lights. And I don't get to do that very often these days because of don't like to drive at night anymore. But I was wearing a pair of glasses that really helped me a lot. It was my driving glasses. I think I need to get out at night more often. And I'm coming to the party on the 7th. I plan to be here, but I invited a couple of friends from my neighborhood to drive. So they're going to be coming too, and I'll tell them to bring something good to eat. So anyway, I wanted to share. Oh, I have to also tell you that my dogs, Toby and Lucy, my one son-in-law was putting up the Christmas lights and accidentally left the dogs out, and they were gone all day. And so they came back, but one of them didn't have his collar on. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so bad if he gets lost and no one can have my phone number to call me. They came back that night, and they were okay. And then they got out again. What? Oh, my friend Rosie. You met Rosie. She was here, was it Sunday before last? And she was such a big help to me. And she was taking her suitcase out last Tuesday and forgot the dogs were in the house because it was so cold. And they saw the front door open, and they were off like a shot. And so I will never, ever, ever get that breed of dog again, and or two at the same time. They're hunting dogs, and they just want to get out there and catch a gopher or a squirrel or something. But the nicest thing, this is talking about a blessing. I got a call from the forest station that they're called Hot Shots, and they're right on High Mountain Road. And the one guy called me, and he said, I was out running and I found Toby's collar. And I thought, oh, I wonder, and he was gone. Toby was gone at the time. And I thought, I hope it wasn't the collar that I put on to replace the one he lost. So he said to me, he said, you can pick up the call, you can come. And of course I left right away to go get the collar. And one of the guys said to me, I was out running and I saw your dogs and I called them and they wouldn't come to me. And he said, we can take you to where we saw the dogs. So I get in my truck, they get in their truck, and we go on this Mr. Toad's wild ride. It was out in the boonies with, beyond, I guess I would call west of Sausalito Canyon. And there are all kinds of dirt roads back there. And I was thinking, do I need four-wheel drive? My truck does, but I wasn't sure how to put it in four-wheel drive. I wanted them to show me. He said, no, you can do this without four-wheel drive. So they drove ahead and I was behind them and we were bouncing along on the roads and I'm looking, trying to find the dogs without running off the trail. And of course I couldn't see them. They weren't there. Anyway, I came back home and within an hour they showed up at home. So and Toby still had his collar on that I replaced. So anyway, they're recovering, which is always good because I like it when they have been out for a while because they're tired and they're tired and then I don't have to worry about them escaping like they do. Anyway, this is totally, my talk was 3 pages long here and I just covered without any going through the pages here, but I just wanted to say about my, I have to find out where I am. I talk about the Unity's theme for December and vision, and I love what you read, Ruth. That was just so perfect. Because vision to me is, you hear people say, they say, when I hear someone say, I see what you mean, they aren't talking about a physical sight, but that they understand and they comprehend. And, I think that's it's kind of like an intuition too. And sometimes I wonder if it's almost like a premonition, but a premonition can be good or bad, I think. But I don't know. It's something to think about, premonition. But I think I shared with you, and I know I've shared with a number of people, that one of my favorite words from Ernest Holmes, and he is the Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, and he has a sentence there that I hold so strongly in my heart, that God is my strength and vision is his gift. And I say that to me all the time. I say that to myself. And I think that having those words strengthen me and I move through my days, my challenges. So God is my strength and vision is his gift. What is vision to you? And I love how, it isn't necessarily, it's more, to me, it's almost like insight. It's that God within, that presence within, that power that we can turn to when it's there, always there, but it has to be called upon. We have to be alive, awake, and aware of this power because it is such an amazing power. And with the challenges that I've had in my life, and we all have challenges in our lives, we have to have these tools. They are tools that we work with to help give us the strength to have the vision to move forward in each of our days. The prayer, that Science of Mind has the steps in prayer. There are 5 steps in prayer. There's the recognition that God is everywhere present in and through each one of us. And there's that unification that we know that we are part of that power that is within. And then there's the realization that we see, and we have that vision to see things as being real. Maybe they aren't real yet, but we see them as being real, and that is the creative energy, that creative force, the law. There's something that I have always wondered at first when I first started studying this. Right? Let me finish those 5 steps. I said the recognition, the unification, the realization, and then of course thanksgiving, giving thanks, being in thanksgiving for knowing the truth and knowing that this is manifesting now. I see it now. It's here now. And then at that point of Thanksgiving, we need to release this, and we release it into the creative power and action of the law. And the law is this. These are the words that Ernest Holmes talks about the law. It says, I gotta get the words right because I can't. Okay, love points the way. Love points the way because that is what God is. God is that presence within each one of us. It is the love that we share. We share it so beautifully here in this unity community. I mean, we just look at each other and we see that presence of God within, and then we see the love within each one of us, and we express the love that we have within us. I am so grateful for being connected to these beliefs that give me strength, and because God is my strength and vision is his gift and helps me move through my days. But one of the things that Ernest Holmes says in the Science of Mind text, and it kind of confused me when I became a practitioner in 92, and I have been emeritus practitioner now, and I'm very proud about that. I became a ordained minister in 2006, and I just feel we are all practitioners in our own way in how we give the love and the attention and listening to people that are need to share. You know, we need to open our hearts and listen. We don't have to solve anything. It's just having someone that cares enough to listen to what we have to say is so important. So what I love these words, love points the way and the law makes it happen. So the love that God is the power that we each are. And to me, God is synonymous with love. I can't think of God without thinking the word love. And then the law is the creative force, and it always says yes. And that's why we have to be so careful of what we say, because if we say I'm tired, if you catch yourself saying that, then the law says yes, you're tired. It always says yes. And so I'm not tired. I am full of energy, and I'm moving forward to this day. And I guess I must be an extrovert because I feel energized by this. I think I am. And my husband probably was an introvert, and I think we melded right, together. But anyway, I get back at love him. I love my John, but anyway, getting back to the lesson. Ooh, I get distracted. I'm sorry about that, but that's who I am. I do that. Okay, so the law is the creative force, and it's the creative force is all the thought in the universe, and all thought is creative. Please remember that your thoughts are creative. If you recognize yourself thinking in a negative way, you say, cancel, cancel. This is not the truth of my being. The truth of my being is love and understanding and peace. And the song, the peace. And that's what the Christmas music is. It helps to remind us of the love that God is. I just love this time of year, the lights. I love color, and I love the lights, and the lights are so, when I drove through the town yesterday and saw the lights in Arroyo Grande, it just like melts my heart, just love that this time of year. And don't get so overwhelmed, though. I'm trying not to do too much. My son-in-law put my lights up, and I'm just happy with the lights. And I have a Christmas tree that's all decorated that a neighbor gave me, and I'll just put that up, and I won't go crazy with having to do so much. I have to honor my age now. I have to realize that all is good, and I just move through the days with grace and ease, and not feel like I'm kinder to myself. And I walk my property, and it's still so very uneven, and the pigs are still tearing up stuff. But I say to myself, I walk in peace, and I express in joy. And I talk about the song that Karen Drucker wrote. About, see, this is what happens sometimes with my mind. I don't know about yours, but sometimes I'm talking away, and then I want to say something, and the words used to come so easily, but they always come after a while. So you might hear me say, suddenly say, I remember what I was going to say. So just ignore that, and just have faith in me. I would be, thank you. I'll be gentle with myself. I'll be tender with my soul. That was not it, but there was another one. But I like that. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for reminding myself of that because I need to be gentle with myself, and we all do. You know, I mean, we're our own best friends. We have to realize that. And if we sometimes get in a blue funk, we have to think of ways to pull ourselves out of that. Because we have this precious life that we've been given. We move through life and learning and expressing and understanding and having the vision to know that life continues on. This life is, I was, yeah, I do believe that this is not just one life, that we have many lives that we will experience. And the people that we have in our lives today will somehow show up in future lives. This is my thinking. So that makes me feel good when I think that, well, this is not just the only life else. But anyway, going back, where is my page here that I think thank you, Chris, or thank you, Richard, for thinking of that. But I will only, it came to my mind, I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. This is what I remind myself as I'm walking along in the property, and there's acorns everywhere, and they're very slippery, and you have to be careful that you don't, one of the things they say about falling, so I am not going to fall. I say I walk in peace, and I walk with attention, and I will only go as slow. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. That's a good mantra to say as we move through the aging process and know that we are just, we do all the things we can. I love the classes on aging and taking care of ourselves. And I continue to think of that as being very important because for me, I worry about my animals. If I'm not there to take care of them, who's going to take care of them? So it's important that I take good care of myself. Okay, so one of the things I say, I talk about, this is something I'll go back. I have some important things I have written down here, and I hope some of the things I said might have been important to you, but it wasn't what I had written down here. But anyway, I spent a lot of time doing this. I want you to know, and then I worry about the power going off and I won't be able to print it out, but it stayed on, except for the power, except for having certain rooms having no light. But I won't go into some of those experiences. Okay, so I like the word. It says I don't know if I should read this or not. It is our responsibility to make conscious choices that affirm the outcomes we desire, choose to answer the call, and seek the best for ourselves and all who walk this path of awakening. And that's why I love that Mark Nepo's book of Awakening, because I believe that to be alive, awake, and aware, I think that these are important aspects of my day, and knowing that how important that is. I think, we are always at choice, and I have really focused on trying to slow down because of my energy level. It usually is going. And, I'm an Aries personality, and I have a lot of energy, and I'm an extrovert, and I just want, I have so much to do, but I force myself, and that's my choice. I choose, Joyce with a choice, I choose to slow down, and I like this that I've heard, pause for peace. Pause for peace. So we pause. I turn and I accept peace, poise, and power, and it helps me going forward in my day. Peace, poise, and power helps me move forward. And when I feel so, I'm just overwhelmed with stuff, I force myself to sit, stay, pray, and then it'll all be okay. I tell my dogs this, except that they don't pray, maybe they do, but I tell them to sit and stay. And now I say, leave it. To Lucy this morning, I'm taking her out on her walk, and she's digging for a gopher, and I want to get back so I can get ready to come here. And I say, Lucy, leave it, drop it, leave it. And that's what I say to myself when I have negative thoughts. Drop it and leave it, right? These are things we need to remember. These are little, they're our tools. I've been dealing with John's tools for all this time with the garage sale. I have my own tools that I need to remember. How am I doing on time? Yeah. I think, okay, so, okay, this is something that I like to remember. The thought comes first, then the conviction, and after that, the steps to make it happen. Let me read that again. The thought comes first, then the conviction. After that, the steps to make it happen. And to me, that the steps, I believe, the steps is that divine guidance, that spiritual vision, that the title of my talk is called Spiritual Vision. Last 2 months ago, I talked about spiritual alchemy, and that kind of goes together. You know, it's that alchemy, that beautiful way that spirit works in our life and guides us and directs us for our highest and best good. In closing, you'll be happy to know in closing, I always thought that's always good to say. Anyway, for me, this year of 2023 has been one where I have used the mantra over and over again. God is my strength and vision is his gift. And in the daily word, Christine, you read that. It's so beautiful. It's on hope and faith. And it has been said that faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. I love that definition of faith. And then the key words here is assurance and conviction. To have the assurance and the conviction. And that's up to us. And that's up to our thought. We can manage our thoughts. We can choose to manage our thoughts. Our thoughts are, well, you know how I feel about that. I have to read these beautiful words by Araya, Mountain Dreamer. How many of you have heard about her? Araya, Mountain Dreamer. She has a wonderful book. I know you have it, Angela. Yeah, it's one of the things that, I hope I don't cry when I say it, but this is what she says. It doesn't interest me when or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. Let me read that again. It doesn't interest me when or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. And we all have times when everything falls away. And it's up to each one of us to pull together and to know we're not alone. We're never alone. The infinite presence of God within me is far more powerful than any earthly challenge. I know that for myself. The infinite presence of God within me is far more powerful than any earthly challenge. This is my assurance and my conviction to know that. So this is my closing prayer. I'd like you to just relax with me as I take a breath and perhaps uncross your legs, stretch a little bit. And just listen to these words. There is a resurrecting power that resides within you and within me that lifts us from despair and limitation to confident living. Let us turn to that power now and experience a renewal of hope and faith and a reawakening of vitality. Refuse to think about or claim thoughts of limitation. And know with me, God is my strength and vision his gift. And so it is. And that is my message this morning. God bless you all. Thank you.